Hey, this is Mark R. LePage from EntreArchitect, and I just wanted to take a very quick, I don't know how long this is going to take, but I wanted to just walk you through the EntreArchitect Foundations documents. We've been offering this for years. It's the first product that I ever put out back in 2013, and we have had over hundreds of architects purchase EntreArchitect Foundations and are using them today all around the world. One of the questions I get is, what's inside? How does it look? How does it work? So today I just wanted to take you for a quick tour through EntreArchitect Foundations, open up a couple of documents, show you what they are. Basically, they are my documents that I created for my own architecture firm, 5Cat Studio. We're a small residential architecture firm. We've been in business since 1999, and these are the documents that I created for my firm, for my business systems to make us successful. And I packaged them all up and made them available to you. You can edit them, you can put your logo on them, you can change them any way you want, and make them the basis of your business systems. So today I just want to walk you through how it works and give you a little bit of a tour. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here you are. When you purchase EntreArchitect Foundations, you will receive a zip file for EntreArchitect Foundations forms. And when you open it up, it will open up into 6 folders. It's fully organized. And so in each folder, there are multiple documents. There are administration forms, construction management forms, design development forms, organizer binder forms, which is an organizer that we have for our firm, project management forms, and sales forms. So if you click on each one of these, you can see that these are Word documents, Microsoft Word documents. This is a Microsoft Excel document. So they are all organized and labeled: A for administration, C for construction management, D for design development, B for binder, P for project management, and S for sales forms. So I want to walk you through a couple of these documents. Administrative forms are basic business forms. So letter of transmittal. Let's open that up. Here's the letter of transmittal. Letter of transmittal, basic. Every time you send out a document, fill this out, and this is the record that you've transmitted the documents to a client. Standard business document. So these are basic business forms. The second library are construction management forms. When we provide construction management, these are the documents that we use. The thing that I wanted to show you in here is this construction estimate template. This is a document that's very easy to use. You fill it in with all the information of all the different items that you're going to provide. This is essentially a template construction cost estimate. Super valuable whether you're running construction management or not. You can fill in these blanks here, add values to them, and they automatically total at the top. Very easy way to do a construction cost estimate. All the documents that we need to run construction management projects are in the construction management forms folder. Design development, these are when we're doing shopping, shopping lists, whether we're doing the shopping or a client does the shopping, these are the forms that we fill out. This gives them and us a checklist of all the different things that we might need to purchase for a project when we're doing design development. So wood flooring, ceramic tile, backsplash counters, all that stuff. Manufacturer, model number, model name. And we have them for kitchens and bathrooms. We have them for fixtures and finishes and accessories. They're all in here in different files, ready for you to just fill in the blanks and be on your way for design development. Organizer binder templates. This is an organizer binder format that we use to manage our projects. A physical binder. Here, let me turn on my camera here, and I'll show you what we do for our binder. So for every project, we put together a physical binder like this. We actually put 2 of them together, one for the client, one for us. This big one's for us. The templates are the cover and the binder that's in the package, and then inside is we have a checklist for different of how to put this together is in there. The checklist to do that, the organizer binder checklist, and then all the different documents that go into this binder. And essentially every document that we ever create for each project goes in here rather than a file cabinet file we use binders, and we have binders for every project. So let me just get back into the documents. I wanted to just show you how this document system worked. So to get back to the binders, these are so that you have the organizer cover. We have the organizer checklist, which is what I was explaining about. These are the documents. Here, I'll open this up here so you can see this. This is the checklist of how you can put together one of these binders. And the intent here is that anybody can do it. So you don't have to do it. This is the system on putting together this binder and making sure that the binder is properly assembled. So that's what that checklist is for. Then we have project organizer submittal form. So when we want to add something to the binder, we can fill out this form, and this basically tells our staff where to put it in the binder so they can't get it wrong. And so all different sorts of documents for that. Project management forms. This is the most comprehensive library. This has all kinds of things. The documents that are really valuable, they're all very valuable, but things like the design change order. So when you have a design change, you can have a client, you can fill this out and then have a client sign that your design is changing and that there's going to be a cost to that. This document sort of sets that expectation that there's going to be a cost to a change. At the end of each phase of a project, we do an authorization to proceed form. This is a very useful form that you can use for each phase. You check off the phase that you've completed. You talk about which phases they're approving and which phase that they're going to proceed to, and then they sign it and they date it and they send it back. And so now you have a record that they approve the phase is complete. Then you can send an invoice, because this sort of sets the expectation that you're now going to send a bill. So this form is really valuable. Invitation to bid letter. I talked about this a little bit in the construction documents. It's also here in the project management. This is an invitation to bid document that's all put together with forms, fields, so you can easily just very quickly run through, add the information that you need, and be done. You can put together an entire invitation to bid in less than an hour, plotting out the drawings, putting together the information that you want, submitted bid due dates, requiring a schedule, those kind of things. So you don't have to recreate this document over and over and over again. It's been documented, it's created, and it's created as a form, so you can very quickly and efficiently complete this document. A zoning analysis checklist is another one that we use often. Your zoning analysis checklist may be different. You may have to edit this document, but essentially it has, who prepared it, who checked it, the client's information, the project information, the zoning district, which is important. That way it can be documented, put into your binder, and you never have to look it up again. You look it up once and be done. Same thing with tax designation. It's always something that we're always looking for later in the project. We're putting permits together. It'll be there ready to go. And then this is zoning, the requirements. And so you can edit these for your own zoning. And then you could include the required, what the existing is and what the proposed is. Building departments love this because it's a very handy way for them to check that you know what you're presenting. And so you could submit this with your drawings as a handy checklist for your zoning official. Very useful. And then required permits and approvals. So sometimes you'll need a construction permit. Sometimes you have a special use permit or wetlands, other permits. It's a way for you to remember that you need to check whether these things happen or not. Very useful for both administration as well as submittal and review from your building department. So that's a zoning analysis checklist that's included in the project management forms. And there's several other forms in here as well. The last section is sales forms. The sales forms, there's an initial client contact information form. This is the form that I fill out when a client calls or emails. It just reminds me to, ask these questions. Where did we learn from them? I have hundreds of these completed, and we regularly add this information into our database. Another form in the sales form is once we get to the client's residence or project, we ask them to fill this out. And this is, names and phone numbers and mailing addresses and phone numbers and that kind of thing. But it also reminds us to ask them some project information. Sometimes the project address is different than their mailing address. But down here, expected budget and expected date of completion. It's a very good way during that initial meeting to trigger that conversation. If you haven't already had that conversation, when they fill this document out, they'll see that. They'll have to bring it up and have this conversation about budget and schedule. It's a great way to complete that meeting and make sure that you have all of the information that you need referenced during that meeting. And then at the bottom, these are things that this IPA is initial payment. So it's a way for me to communicate to my staff how much I think the initial payment should be and the project number, and maybe some notes or who attended the meeting can be put into this for use only. This is done after the meeting, so the client doesn't see this later. And so that those are a couple of the forms that we have in here. One final one I wanted to show you, if you go into project management, is our pre-designed client questionnaire. This is my favorite document. This is a document that we use on every project, the pre-designed client questionnaire. And these are all the questions that you need pre-designed. So some of them are technical, but some of them are more like wish lists. What's your wish list? And then prioritize your wish list. Existing furniture. Do you regularly entertain? Do you have children? Do you watch TV? Do you read? These are questions that you can get to know your client from. Then some utility questions, then specific requirements. So if they have specific requirements for you, they can fill this out. The other thing here is this really interesting checklist of descriptive words. They check off the things that appeal to them. And when you read those, you sort of filter out the rest of them. You read the words that they've checked off, and it's a very clear indication of who these people are, the things that they like and they don't like. Then some next steps, managing expectations again, things that we need from them, what's next, lets them know what's going to happen next. And then at the end here is an authorization form for the building department file. Very often you need permission from your owner to access the building permit file, and this happens automatically with every project when they're completing this document. So this pre-designed client questionnaire, super valuable, very, very valuable document. So that's it. I just wanted to take a quick tour through the documents, show you just a few, a very small selection of them. There's over 50 documents. If you had to create these documents from scratch, like I said, these documents are my documents. It's taken me 20 years to develop this comprehensive library, and probably 60 to 70 hours of actual development time. If you needed to develop these documents from scratch, if you used my table of contents and created every document that's in there, probably 60, 70, 100 hours of time. That's, $5,000 to $10,000 worth of billable time. These documents are only $97, one-time fee. Just purchase the documents one time. You have them. You have full access to them, full copyright. You can do whatever you want with them after you purchase them. So EntreArchitect.com/foundations will get you there. That is a full tour, not a full tour, a short tour of the EntreArchitect Foundations documents. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can email us at support@EntreArchitect.com, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening and watching this video. Check it out, EntreArchitect.com/foundations.